Well, here we are. It's Saturday, June 25th, 2022. My name's Larissa, and I think I have a personal statement to make, particularly to the people of California. And this is regarding the debauchery that we are seeing currently with the U.S. Supreme Court. I am and remain a pro-choice individual, which is not the same thing as to say pro-abortion. Any type of medical procedure is a challenging thing, and a choice like that is a very difficult thing for a woman to have to go through for whatever reasons that she is considering it. The striking down of Roe versus Wade is a signal of an oppression of women and a lack of separation between church and state, which has been going on for quite some time. I personally have been attacked directly by the gay community, and over the last 10 years or so, and this has all been done because, we need more gay people out and about, and gay rights this and gay rights that. Well, you don't do, two wrongs do not make a right. And I have never been oppressive of gay people, right? I've never been anything but supportive of human rights. So now that Roe versus Wade has been struck down, the next thing they're going to come after are your marriage rights, right? And I don't care. And this is why. I warned everybody when it began. I warned all of the groups that were all up in arms about Prop 8, and there were other things that I have warned about as well, and I was correct about, and nobody wanted to listen to what I had to say, because what does a stupid little woman like Larissa know? Well, my point from the beginning was that the state has no business offering marriage license to anyone, regardless of who they are. Same sex, opposite sex, who the fuck know what your sex is? Marriage is a sacrament, and for the state to issue a license for a sacrament is directly stepping on freedom of religion. I don't believe the state should be marrying anyone. The state should only be issuing domestic partnership. The state should only be regulating business. Marriage is not a business. Marriage is a sacrament. Right? I believe that there should be a boycott of all industry from all states banning abortion. That means that means boycotting tourism to that state, boycotting businesses whose headquarters are based in those states. That's what I think should happen, right? And to all of the women who are now at risk in those states, I suggest you leave those states. I suggest you pack up, take your little girls with you, and move the hell out, right? Move out to states where your rights are still preserved. All of this is really a backlash against the vaccine mandates on top of it. I am neither liberal or conservative. I don't fall into either of the groups. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm currently registered as a libertarian. However, I think they're a bunch of lunatics as well. And I don't really agree with a number of their ideas. I agree with libertarian philosophy as I understand it, as I have read about it, right? And I believe in personal choice and personal accountability. This all really comes down to Abrahamic religious beliefs. And there's an infiltration of religious doctrine within U.S. government, more so now than there ever was, particularly at the beginning of our Constitution. The founding fathers and mothers of this country were deists. That's not the same thing as saying Christian. Deism is something else altogether. So there's this idea, right, that it's going to come down to the final days of Christians fighting Muslims. That's really what these two fundamentalist groups believe. And the Catholic Church had no problem with abortion up until, I don't remember the year, beginning of Vatican II, or no, Council of Trent. And the population numbers were projected. And it was an introduction of birth control, allowing a woman to decide, or not just a woman, but a man and a woman, to have family planning, right? It's why they don't want condoms. The Pope would rather see people get AIDS and women die than he would see somebody wear a condom. And it's because of family planning and people deciding, making decisions for themselves economically without the consult of a priest in their bedroom. Right? So they changed the belief. They changed the belief from when they felt the soul was present inside of the body. They changed that. They changed what they said, what the doctrine was, so that they could oppress women and bully women into being and remaining pregnant. And they don't punish rape. They believe it's a man's right to dominate a woman. Because ultimately Christians don't believe any more than Muslims do that women are equal. Right? Abortion is not murder. A fetus is not a person any more than a company is a person, right? Legally, they say a company's a person, and that's why you can't sue anybody when a company pulls bullshit, right? It's a catch-22. So they're doing this so that there's enough Christian soldiers to fight enough Muslim soldiers, because Muslim people and Muslim populations in the world have been multiplying at a faster rate than Christians. Because Muslim beliefs are that a woman is only worth half of a man. Either side, it doesn't matter. Treat women like livestock. And it's the same thing as what the Democrats have been doing with these mandated vaccines to pad the pockets of pharmaceutical companies who are funding a lot of campaigns. And so all of the gay community who has been all up in arms and being shitty, they're going to come for you next too. And you want my sympathy? I warned you all about it. Groups like the Industrial Areas Foundation need to be dismantled. The Industrial Areas Foundation, PICO, all of these organizing groups, they're all religiously based. And they play on the psychology of people wanting to feel important, to be leaders in their communities. All the while, they have a hidden agenda, and they aren't forthcoming with what that agenda is. So, I think it's time everybody puts on their big girl panties and knocks off all this bullshit about race and gender and garbage and starts treating each other like human beings. Right? An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. The irony is, a lot of women are going to die, and those numbers, those population numbers, are going to be in poor Black urban communities. Mm-hmm. So you tell me, who's racist here? Hmm? And the Democrats promising, oh, we're going to protect this, that, and the other thing. They didn't protect shit, did they? They just instigated. And all of it was so that they could maintain and put into office people that they wanted, their friends, right, to cover their asses. The invasion of Crimea started in 2014. The invasion of Ukraine started in 2014. Right? It did. It totally did. And no one gave a shit about it then. When I see Ukrainian flags out in the front of people's houses, I'm just like, really? Why now? Why not then? Why are Ukrainian people more important to you now? It's awfully convenient, right? Shall I do a card reading? Shall I? Let me get some cards. It's like the legislation, the original cannabis legislation that was presented by Tom Ammiano and was ultimately shot down by the Emerald Triangle, right? Well, look, ooh, none of them flipped up. None of them flipped up. So keep shuffling. Look at the legislation we got instead. Again, Republican subterfuge slipped on the ballot in a sneaky way by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you know how he did that? This is when Omar and I were talking about this last night. It's when I stopped. Don't sign, when you see people out with those petitions about, let's get this on the ballot, let's get that on the ballot, don't ever sign them. Don't ever sign them, because you don't really know what they have on that petition. You don't really know. They present it in such a way that is whatever they think is, going to get you to sign, right? So those petitions were out in front of grocery stores at the same time when the Ammiano legislation was being presented and worked on, and the other legislation, ultimately the legislation that got passed, that was Republican backed, right? And a lot of Democrats, they came around like, oh, we need to put marijuana law reform on the ballot, right? And so a lot of people were just like, yes, we do. We need to vote on this. But they didn't tell us what they were really talking about, right? So the legislation that I thought I was signing a petition for to have put on the ballot was in fact not the legislation that I was signing for, right? It was another piece of legislation, the piece of crap that they ultimately passed. So I learned my lesson, and I'm sure a lot of other people did. But I'm telling you, don't sign those petitions. You don't know. Even if it sounds good, you don't know. You don't know. You just don't know. It's always propaganda and subterfuge. That's why they railroaded Schwarzenegger over screwing his nanny, right? Lots of politicians do that shit, but the only reason that it became a big deal was to get back at him for that crap. All right, so in the center we have reversed Roman numeral 4, the rebel. Under forces at play that you may not be aware of, we have reversed major arcana adventure. No, it's not fun. No, it never was. Forces at play that you're probably aware of, upright major arcana trust. Oh, there's finally some trust there, huh? And course of action, we have a reverse number 7, projections. Oh, no longer putting your bullshit on somebody else, huh? Owning up to it. And then the outcome, I have two came up, 2 reversals. I have a reverse number 9, ripeness, and a reverse number 2, possibilities. Time's not so ripe anymore, right? Aren't so many possibilities anymore, right? Really fell asleep on the job. You know, I'm 43, so like the whole abortion thing is will soon most likely be a moot point for me, you know? I'm closer to that than the other. So then all I need to worry about is getting some disease from a rapist, right? That's all I have to worry about, but who cares? I'm just a woman. I'm just a woman and not worth much, right? No, I don't want any more coffee. Thank you for asking. All right, so in the center, on top of the reversed Roman numeral 4, we have an upright 13 release, Archangel Azrael. The end of a phase of situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Forces at play that you may not be aware of. On the reversed major arcana adventure, we have an upright 4 of air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Well, isn't that a luxury that some people have? And forces at play that you're probably aware of on the upright 14 or upright major arcana trust, we have a reversed 14, balance, Archangel Zadkiel. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation, and compromise. Wait for your perfect timing. No compromise, right? And on the course of action, reverse 7 projections, we have reversed Ace of Water. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth, and enhanced intuition, a new home. So no, not falling in love. Not falling out of love, but not falling in love either. Already there. And on top of the reverse 9, ripeness, and 2 possibilities, we have a reverse 19, the sun, Archangel Uriel. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. Oh no, I think there's a whole lot of people in office, a whole lot of elected officials in office who really need to take some personal accounting, huh? I suggest for Christmas to send any family members that you have in states that are banning abortion, send them boxes of wire coat hangers. Boxes of wire coat hangers and rubbing alcohol. All right. So in the center, the energy of the day, we have the reversed rebel. We have the upright 13 release and an upright 14 energizer communication. I'm getting the message now, huh? And forces at play that you're probably not aware of on the reversed adventure and the upright 4 of air. We have a reversed 6 mirror reflection. Nope, not quite the same thing, huh? And forces at play that you're probably aware of on the upright Major Arcana Trust and the reversed 14 balance. We have an upright 30 Grandmother Crystal Deva miracle healing. Somebody's got their eyes open for the first time and finally understands something that their grandma taught them or was trying to teach them. And course of action on the reverse 7 projections and the reversed Ace of Water, we have a reverse number 1, Divine Temple, Akashic Records. No, somebody's being denied that information. Somebody's being denied that intuition, right? Because that's what this says. Enhanced intuition. Yeah, somebody can't see. Somebody's been denied access to the file. And outcome on the reverse 9 rightness, the reverse 2 possibilities, and the reverse 19 the sun. We have upright 33 personal power, self-empowerment. Right? Time to do it yourself. Oh, it's going to be a whole lot of women trying to do it for themselves, huh? Whole lot of women. Dirty Dancing. Start showing that movie again. Cider House Rules. Yeah. For shame, Amy Coney Barrett. For shame. For shame. Expect that kind of garbage from sexists like Clarence Thomas and Kavanaugh. For shame. For shame.